All right, y'all. Dennis Prager here. And there's no question I'm in your life. I fully acknowledge that. And I'm honored to be, and I want to be of good use to you. Incidentally, if you missed it, I conducted a Passover Seder on the internet. You can get it at PragerU or YouTube or Facebook. Smoke signals. How else are things transmitted? And it's very touching, actually. People all over the world watched, mostly non-Jews. From the reactions, that's my assumption. But it's very very touching. The comments are very touching on YouTube. Are there comments on Facebook?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah, I should look there too. I got to look there too. Yeah, there are comments everywhere. Comments here, comments there, comments everywhere. All right, y'all. Dennis Prager here. So the obvious topic for today's Happiness Hour. Come on, give me a break. You can guess it yourselves. The meaning of the spring solstice. Why that would bring people happiness. Is it the spring solstice? Wait, so when is the equinox? When is solstice and when is equinox? I admit my ignorance on the air. Oh, the equinox is closed. You know, you're thinking of the health club. This is what I have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. If you knew what went into my earphones on a daily basis, you would send me a cigar. Yes, cigars have been a very good thing. Do you know, by the way, this is of human interest. I admit it is not of colossal note. I've actually eaten less during this time than more. I totally get it that people look to food for comfort. I mean, I don't get it personally because I look to cigars for comfort. But I get that people would. I have just found that I don't have an interest in eating because, it's a fairly, sedentary existence right now, which is my fault. I mean, I do walk, but I don't walk enough. And not that if I walk more, I don't think I'd even want more food. You don't eat much anyway, so it wouldn't affect you. I don't eat much anyway either, but I even eat less. Yeah, the equinox is twice a year. So then I was wrong. It's the spring equinox. It's the winter solstice. So I was totally wrong. Those of you who celebrate the spring equinox, please forgive me. I had a feeling I was wrong because I remembered the term winter solstice. It couldn't be both spring and winter. It has to be spring and fall. All right, now the topic on the Happiness Hour today is religion and happiness. Now, this is a very great test. We're all equally, well, not equally, but it has nothing to do with secular or religious. We are, in that sense, we're all equally affected, correct? There are religious poor people, religious rich people, religious middle class people. There are secular poor people, secular middle class, secular rich people. So the distinction has nothing to do with whether you're religious. So therefore, it's a good test. Are religious people better capable? Do they have advantages in coping with a situation like this that secular people do not have? That's my question. Now, even putting God aside, which is a big deal to put aside, I get it. There is something that we have, we religious folks, not all, but most, that secular folks don't have. Not all, but most, again, and that is community. I have a synagogue that I attend. I'm very close to many of the people who attend it. I teach there every week, and we have a Zoom service every Saturday.
Well, now we do.
No, well, I'm talking now.
Yeah.
during this period. Obviously, we don't have a Zoom service when we can be together. I'd much rather be together. I'm a big hugger. According to Dr. Fauci, we won't even be able to shake hands ever again. Ever again. That's why you never have experts make policy. Never. Never. I rather have, as Buckley said, the first 2,000 names in the Boston phone book than 2,000 Harvard professors. Experts overwhelmingly lack wisdom. There are a handful of experts with wisdom. That's a very tiny fraction. They should have nothing to do with policy. They should just tell us what they know, and then wise people make policy. Can you think of something more foolish than we will never shake hands again? Yes, I can think of something more foolish. The man who ran Obamacare for the doctor who ran Obamacare and now is the health advisor to Joe Biden, said that we should stay in place for 18 months. He admits it will affect the economy. Shelter in place. That's right, shelter in place. Anyway, you see, religious people are I think are better prepared for things like this. One of the things that's very interesting, one of the things that I think this generalization is accurate. The disproportionate majority of those who are panicking, like the woman who wrote in the New York Times today that Nebraska should have shelter in place, and she's angry at the Republican governor for not. The vast majority are secular. I think secular people panic more. I think they want a more intrusive government. There's a very big difference between secular and religious. I mean, there are secular conservatives and there are religious leftists. I understand that. But nevertheless, there really is a difference between the religious and the secular. Not to say that secular are bad and religious are good. There are bad religious people and there are wonderful secular people. But in the ability to cope with life, I think religious people have better shock absorbers. I think that our expectations of non-tragedy, although there are people who are religious who expect no tragedy because they think by being religious, God will protect them. So I have knocked that many times. There isn't a shred of thought in me, deeply religious person, that God will protect me from all evil. I don't even know why people would believe that. It doesn't make any sense to me. So what do you think? Religious or secular better capable of dealing with the crisis we're in? That's the Happiness Hour subject. 1-8-PRAGER 776-877-243. 776. A meaningful holy weekend to my Christian listeners and a happy Pesach or Passover to my Jewish listeners. And to all other listeners, a happy weekend. We continue the Dennis Prager Show, the Happiness Hour.
The Dennis Prager Show, live from the Relief Factor Pain-Free Studio.